Wes Anderson, known to many as the modern-day auteur, was born in Houston, Texas, and is one of three brothers. Originally, Wes wanted to be a writer, but he developed his love for directing films when he used to use his dad's Super 8 filming camera, making silent films which would include his brothers and some friends. And although being mostly well known for his movie directing, he is also a producer and screenwriter. He graduated from the University of Texas Austin with a degree in philosophy, which is where he met famous actor Owen Wilson, who featured in his first film, Bottle Rocket. In this film by Wes Anderson called The Grand Budapest, which won many awards, you can see how he loves to include bold and intriguing colours when it comes to creating a mise en scène. In the hotel scenes, bright, vibrant colours of pink and red are everywhere. Also notice how the hotel's workers all wear these bright, purple blazers. And one thing, I couldn't help but notice how Anderson can make a setting look so nice and colourful, and yet when our main character, Monsieur Gustave, is in prison, he does such a great job of utilising the light settings on a camera to make it look as miserable as possible. I also notice how with almost every shot, the characters and props are all in perfect line of symmetry, which shows how unique Anderson's attention to detail really is. Another thing that shows off this, a unique attention to detail, is how he patterns almost every bit of prop used in his films. For example, in The Grand Budapest, the hotel in its previous glory has these amazing patterns on the red carpets. And it's these itsy bits of details that really give Wes Anderson the props he deserves, as I don't really know many other directors who set up their movies quite like he does.
Born in Lazio, Rome on the 3rd of January 1929 and known for his popularisation of spaghetti westerns, Sergio Leone was the son of a film industry pioneer and worked in cinema from an early age, assisting both Italian and American directors, including Fred Zinnemann, Robert Wise and William Wyler. He was a second unit director on a number of productions, and he collaborated as a screenwriter for Sign of the Gladiator. Leone really got his big break with his second film, A Fistful of Dollars, featuring an at-the-time unknown Clint Eastwood as the man with no name.
You see, my mule don't like people laughing. It's the crazy idea you're laughing at him. Now, if you apologize like I know you're going to, I might convince him that you really didn't mean it.
It was here Leone introduced the world to what is now known as spaghetti western. Noted, as such, for criticising and or eschewing the traditions of the US western. In A Fistful of Dollars, the man with no name enters a town that is ruled by two gangs. Ordinary social relations don't really seem to exist, and the man with no name goes about betraying and playing the gangs against each other in order to make his money. He then assists a family who are threatened by both gangs and proceeds to defeat them both. Sergio tragically died from a heart attack at the age of 60 in his home city of Rome. He left behind with him a legacy that defined an entire genre that is relevant even to this day. What did you like about that scene?
Well, one thing I liked about it was how the director uses close-ups to show the expression on each character's face. And you can tell how our main character with a cigar in his mouth seems pretty calm and relaxed, while the others seem to be swaying and they seem pretty nervous as the music builds and builds, which I liked a lot.
Anything in particular that stood out to you as particularly defining?
What do you mean by defining?
Anything you would consider maybe iconic or like a standout moment?
I guess when the scene gets to its final part, when he actually shoots the people, sort of you don't really know what's going to happen because of the music, how it builds up, and then you just see the main character shoot one guy, and then that was what I saw. But another thing I liked was how the hand gestures they had as they were going for their guns. A lot of them looked pretty nervous, like fiddling about, whereas the main character, when he switched to him, he was just still on his gun, as the other people were sort of, moving towards it. So I like that as well. And the music as well. The music's really good for suspense building, I think.
And would you say that there's still a place in today's market for films like that?
Nah, to too many people would say it's boring and carries on for too long.
Martin Charles Scorsese, born November 1917, 1942 in Queens, New York City, directed his first feature film, Who's That Knocking at My Door, in 1967, and since then has been perfecting his filmmaking style for over 50 years. He has been known for his dark depictions of America's gritty underground and his films concerning corruption in the authorities. Scorsese has won 140 awards for his work in the filmmaking industry, with some coming from his directing in popular films like The Wolf of Wall Street and Goodfellas. Scorsese uses notable techniques and features in his films which make them recognisable and his own. He frequently uses the song Gimme Shelter by the Rolling Stones, which is his most obvious and noticeable trademark. Along with being known for his use of music, he's also known for his fantastic use of silence, which he uses in tense scenes to raise the tension even higher, which is sometimes more effective than using sounds or tense music. Scorsese also has some unique camera techniques that he uses, like in the final fight in Raging Bull, he dollies backwards while zooming in on the subject. This gives the effect of the subject staying the same size in the shot, but the background changes size, which represents LaMotta's dazed perspective. He also uses a reverse of this technique in Goodfellas, where he dollies forwards while zooming out, which makes the subject stay the same size, but makes the background more dominant, which shows the paranoia the characters feel. Scorsese is also well known for his long one-shot scenes, which are most famously used in Goodfellas and Raging Bull.
Quentin Tarantino, director of films such as Kill Bill and Pulp Fiction, was born in Tennessee during the early 60s. Known for his hyper-stylized violence and unpredictable scenes, Tarantino proceeds to wipe the floor of the industry clean with his immaculate success.
Man, I don't even have an opinion.
Well, you gotta have an opinion. I mean, do you think that God came down from heaven and stopped Oh, what the fuck's happening? Oh, man, man. Oh, man, I shot Marvin in the face. Why the fuck you do that?
Growing up for Tarantino was difficult due to his proclaimed troubled childhood and inability to learn academically, but after earning himself the role as a sales clerk in a video shop, he was able to discover what he is now strongly passionate about. His admiration for filmmaking sprouted from his encyclopedic knowledge of movies and obsession with studying them. His dedication towards said subject has earned him the title of one of the best directors of our time. But with success comes controversy, and with controversy comes challenges. Previously, he had received backlash for a pretentious response he had made regarding the claim of sexual harassment against Roman Polanski, a fellow director.
You know, he had sex with a minor. All right, that's not rape. To me, when you use the word rape, all right, you're talking about violent, throwing them down. It's like one of the most violent crimes in the world. She wanted to have it, and dated the guy, and
she was 13.
And found.
After apologizing in 2015, 2 years after the allegation was made,
Quentin Tarantino has apologized to Samantha Geimer, who at the age of 13 was raped by director Roman Polanski in 1977.
Tarantino proceeded to carry out his work as a filmmaker, later announcing that Kill Bill 3 would be a possibility.